Hi everybody, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and today I am going to be dip dyeing approximately 20 grams of hand spun Welsh top. Now this has been dyed. I've just taken it out of the dye bath here. There's still a hint of purple in there. This is from another project where I was using this as a bit of a yarn mop to get the rest of the dye that wasn't absorbing to the yarn. So what I've got here is 0.2-ish grams of frozen, which is an acid dye from Dharma. Just trying to get all the last little bits out. And I am going to carefully and slowly dip this lovely pinky purple yarn into this blue. Hopefully there's not too much dye. That's been a bit of a theme for me this last couple of days, is that I've just had way too much dye. So I'm hoping that this isn't, but it probably is. I was curious, I picked frozen to go over this lovely pinky purple because I was just interested to see how these colours would layer together. If they would make a nice purple at some point. I'm not sure. Now this pinkish purple was originally, well, not originally, it is Bougainvillea, which is a fibre reactive dye from Dharma. It's at an incredibly low depth of shade. I wouldn't like to say what it is. The dye bath originally started at 1 gram of dye for 50 grams of yarn, and then I added this in because it wasn't absorbing everything. So I don't know. See, I'm just very slowly going in. It looks like the blue is absorbing to the yarn. There is a ton of acid in this pot. I have lost track of how many tablespoons of acid I have put in here. I'm hoping that the acid will help this dye to strike quite quickly. And I'll just add a little bit more. You can see it's nice and dark blue down the bottom, and then it's getting into sort of a lilac-y colour at the top. So I'm just going to be carefully and slowly doing this. There's only about 20 grams of hand spun yarn here that I spun this myself. So hopefully this won't take too long, and I'm sort of wiggling it about like this to try and get even coverage. But since it's only about 20 grams, it's not like I'm dipping 100 grams in and there's lots of yarn in the middle of the skein that's not getting any dye. This is only 20 grams. There's not much here at all. Let's have a look at this water. It's still very blue. I'm probably used too much dye again. I've got this heat on low because I don't want this to felt. I don't want the water to get too I don't want to agitate this too much and felt it. I don't want there to be too much movement in the water. I want to try and keep this last little bit here, this nice pink colour. So that's why I'm holding it like this, and I don't want to get it all in there. So just dip. Yeah, it's still very blue. I think it's clearing, but I'm not going to risk it and stick the whole thing in. I'm going to just hold it out. I've got an idea. This is taking quite a while, and that's fine, but I really like how this colour looks at the moment. So I'm going to stop the dip dye. This water is hot. I should probably just try and squeeze this out a little bit. Hang on, I need my tongs. So I'm just going to squeeze as much of that out as I can. I'm currently steaming another project, but what I'm going to do is just add this to be steamed. I like how much colour this has got. And I'm curious to see if this will actually work or not. It's something I've wondered about for a while, if I can sort of do a little bit of dip dye and then steam when I'm happy with the colours. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this to steam for probably about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. This little dip dyed yarn here has been on the heat for probably about an hour now, steaming. Didn't mean for it to be quite that long, but I had some lunch and forgot what the time was and what I was doing. So it doesn't look like there's any colour dripping off of that, which is great. Ignore this other project. That will be posted at some point. So I'm just going to turn this off the heat and leave it to cool down. This yarn has completely cooled down now, so we can wash it. Now, because this is not superwash yarn, I am just going to put some water with some washing up liquid in the sink. I don't want to felt this by agitating it too much. And that is very, very cold water. Looks like there may be a little bit of blue coming off here. Yeah, possibly a little bit. That's not a worry. Now that washing up liquid was just to help to remove any unbound dye and the vinegar smell and anything we don't want in there. And it seems to have done its job, because now this is looking pretty clear. So I'm going to gently rinse this through a couple more times and then I can hang it out to dry.
And here is my finished yarn, and I'm so happy to say that dipping in just that little bit there and then stopping and then steaming what I had dipped worked. I'm so happy with this, and I'm glad I didn't dip this any more than I did. And this is definitely something that I will be doing again if I get to a point in a dip dye, or not necessarily a dip dye, but any project that I have other ideas for, and then I really like where I am, I can stop. The rest of the dye from this didn't go to waste. I dyed some fibre, and this will be in another video at some point. I don't know when. So if you are subscribed and you have notifications turned on, you won't miss that video or any of my other videos. I publish my videos every Monday, usually around about 6 p.m. UK time, and I like to experiment in my videos. I like to try different things, so there should always be something interesting for you to watch. Thank you so much for watching.